All right, here we are. Another announcement and another long story to tell.
Guess what? Guess where Mom's going? She's going to make you a big brother. Maybe. Ah! Scary, I know.
We wish it was a short story.
It's not, and it's still complicated, but we'll get there.
Yep, that's right.
All right, so we decided after Elliot was only 10 months, that it was time to start the process for number 2 because it took so long for number 1. So it was November 2019. We first went back to our doctor, Dr. Allison Rogers at Fertility Centers of Illinois, just for the consult to see what we needed to do to start the process for number 2. So at our consult, we decided that we would test some of our embryos because after Elliot's complicated delivery early at 33 and a half weeks, we knew we could only transfer 1 embryo again because twins would be far too dangerous this time. So we had 8 embryos left and we didn't know if they were all genetically normal. So we decided to PGS or genetically test them, thaw them and test them to make sure that they had the right number of chromosomes to reduce our chance of miscarriage. So we tested 4 out of 8, and on Christmas Eve, we got the good news that all 4 that we tested were genetically normal.
And we also found out that we had 3 girls and 1 boy in that group of 4 embryos, so we were super happy.
We were happy because obviously we love Elliot and are happy to have a boy, but we were also hoping at some point to have a girl, so this was really good odds of hopefully getting a girl. In the new year of 2020, we started all the testing, and testing showed that we needed to have a surgery to remove some polyps from the uterus, and we did that in February 2020, right before COVID got really bad. Then in March 2020, we were able to complete the last testing that we wanted to do. We wanted to repeat the ERA test that showed us when we needed to transfer with Elliot, and that was the key to us getting pregnant with Elliot, to make sure nothing changed, and it didn't. So that was amazing. We got that tested right before everything pretty much shut down for COVID.
Elliot, if this is what working from home is like, I don't know that I can do this.
During COVID in March and April and May of 2020, our clinic stopped doing transfers because everything was so up in the air about the world, and COVID and pregnancy and everything. So we couldn't do anything. So we were literally just waiting. So by June 2020, we were finally ready to transfer. We were feeling pretty optimistic because we had done everything we could to prepare, and we knew that this embryo was genetically normal, so the odds should be pretty high.
Guess what? Guess where Mom's going? She's going to make you a big brother. Maybe. Ah!
It's weird though, because of COVID, I get to go alone all the way to Chicago. Mike is not allowed to come in for the transfer, so it's kind of sad.
Yep.
But whatever it takes, we got to do our shot before we go, and Grandma's here watching Elliot, so we're covered.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
All right, see you later.
Here we go.
Good luck.
Time to bring home the next baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Early July came, and I took a pregnancy test at home, hoping to surprise Mike.
Bad idea.
And it was positive, but it was very faint. So I waited for the next morning, assuming that the next morning it would be darker and I could show him and we could celebrate.
Well, the tests got later each day, so this is a very bad sign that it's not darker. So we're doing our beta today and hopefully give us some answers, but likely not going to be viable. So looks like we're in for at least another few months of medication transfer and trying again. So it would be nice if something would just work, but nothing ever goes easy, so we're going to keep pressing on.
The next morning it was even lighter, so I knew or thought we were having what's called a chemical pregnancy or an early loss, where the embryo starts to implant and then stops, and it's essentially just an early miscarriage. That was confirmed with blood work, and that was really hard because this time we knew it was a genetically normal girl, so it felt like losing a baby because we had hoped she was gonna stick around and be our baby. So after that, we did more testing. We did some biopsies of the lining to make sure we didn't have any infection or anything else was going on. And that testing actually showed that there was what's called endometriitis, which is inflammation of the uterine lining.
We just got the news that the repeat biopsy still shows inflammation, so that sucks because it's another month of antibiotics and another biopsy and waiting and maybe another surgery, so just one thing after another, you know. It'd be really nice if something would just work this time, but I'm just gonna have to keep waiting.
Why don't you stay, 'cause I could really use a friend. Stay, please stay, 'cause my heart really needs a man. Somewhere, somehow, I guess I lost it all. Stay here.
And we had to go on rounds, or I had to go on rounds of antibiotics to try and clear this up, and repeat biopsies showed that it wasn't going away. So finally we thought we had fixed it after another surgery and more testing, and we decided to transfer again in November 2020.
Down here at the clinic for transfer number 2 for baby number 2. Still no partners allowed, so I'm all alone, but it's 70 on November 9th, and hopefully that's a good sign. Here we go.
This was our second girl, and unfortunately this time it didn't work either. It was really hard. I mean, this whole time I don't think we have as much footage because it was almost harder to film in a way, because it should have been easier this time because we had the embryos, we knew when to transfer, we knew they were normal.
Yep. We thought it was kind of a slam dunk, and it was, yeah, almost harder because every time it didn't work, it was just, you know,
Yeah.
thought it was us.
And at this point, Elliot was almost 2, and we had hoped to have our kids 2 years apart. I mean, you can't plan these things, but
Yep.
when you know when you're transferring and everything should be working, you try to plan these things. So that was hard right before the holidays to lose another girl, and now we only had one left. So we made the hard decision to go on some, I'll call it strong medicine, to try and reset my system for 2 months over the holidays. That made me feel just awful, but you know, sometimes this was kind of a last-ditch effort. We'd done everything. I mean, we'd tested everything, and it was getting to the point where we weren't sure I'd be able to carry again for whatever reason. So after that, we decided to move forward, and in February 2021, we were going to transfer again, except things just didn't work out that cycle. My line didn't grow right, and we had to cancel again.
But at least we didn't transfer and have a failure. So, I mean, there's a silver lining in everything, I suppose.
Yep. And so we started again next month, and in March 2021, we transferred our last girl.
Well, transfer 3 is done. It went so quick that I didn't even have time to film it there. But she said embryo looked perfect, lining looked perfect. Now we get to wait for 10 days. Let's hope this baby girl sticks around.
If this didn't work, obviously we still had a boy left, and we had 4 untested embryos, so it wasn't the end of the road for us, but there was a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So
Just had my blood done. Feeling so nervous. This is the first time we have it tested since it worked with Elliot, and that time we didn't test either, so I don't know. It's a little superstitious, I guess, but I just couldn't see another negative test, so we're gonna be anxiously waiting. 2 days ago, I felt so sure it worked, and I felt so pregnant, and then yesterday and today, I feel nothing. So the medication messes with your mind. It could be bad. It could mean nothing. It's just torture. This is plays so much mind games with you, and it's been a really long 9 days, and we're just praying so hard. This is it. We're so tired of this, and we just want our baby so bad.
we did not take a test at home. I was done taking the test, so no test.
We actually waited for the doctor to call this time.
Yep.
Because bad luck with taking tests at home,
So we were gonna film the actual call, but my doctor called at 9:30. So Mike wasn't home yet from work, so he was just gonna come home in the afternoon, and I had to answer.
Of course.
I mean, I couldn't let it go to voicemail. And it was positive, so we're happy, but I mean, it's hard because it's a little lower than we'd like, but it still could be fine. It's just we won't know it until Friday when we go back again and hope it's doubling. So technically we were pregnant, but we would need to do some repeat tests to make sure.
All right, we got our third beta in today, and it was 414. which is a good increase since 3 days ago at 128. So we're feeling good. I hate pregnancy tests, but I figured I needed at least one this time to take a picture and remember it by. So I took one, and the line is way darker than the control line, so I think that looks good. But honestly, I hate these things. I was so nervous. I was waiting to come up, even though I know the answer, but here's the one and only one I'll probably take, so yay!
I went in at 5.5 weeks, 6.5 weeks, 7.5 weeks. And we did see the baby. Actually, we didn't. Mike wasn't allowed to come to these, so I had to go in alone. Drive down to Chicago and go in alone. But we saw the baby, and the next week we saw the heartbeat, and the next week it's still at a heartbeat. Big week. Mike was allowed for the first time to come see the baby.
Yeah, finally.
8 weeks, 5 days. Mike got to come to the ultrasound.
Jamie's been going solo all these trips.
Yeah. There's a baby in there. Good heartbeat, 173. It was like a 10-minute appointment, but Mike got to come see it, so it was nice. What do you think?
It finally looked like a baby. All the photos Jamie's been showing me just kind of showed like a little ball or a speck, but
Yes.
It actually looks like a baby now.
We're excited because it's good, and I've been super sick, so it makes it worth it when you get to go see the baby doing well. So now we don't get to go back for 2.5 weeks, so it's gonna be a long time. Everything went good for the first trimester until I guess we got back and we were around 13 weeks, and I woke up and there was just a lot of bleeding, and we had to go to the ER in the middle of the night. We thought baby girl was gone, like for sure.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was traumatic. Scary night. Worst night. But it's okay for now. We were just waiting at 2 a.m., waiting to hear, and they don't come and tell you very quickly.
Yeah.
But baby girl was okay. And we were finally maybe starting to breathe a little until we got to our 20-week anatomy scan. And after this point, you know, things look good. Things usually turn out pretty good.
The 20-week anatomy scan is usually pretty long. We're measuring length of bones and organs and making sure everything is, you know, in its correct place. And, you know, so they take a lot of pictures of the heart. And so the technician did their thing, and then the doctor came in. Fortunately, they found a congenital heart defect in the baby. So there are actually like 4 valves in the heart that control blood flow in and out of the heart, one of which pumps blood to the lungs so that it can be replenished with oxygen. And unfortunately, that valve is either not present or just not working at all. It's completely blocked. Unfortunately, when the baby is born, they'll have to go in and do a surgery to open that valve with a balloon. And luckily that can be done with a sort of catheter apparatus, and hopefully that'll fix it. In the rare case that the baby will have to have open heart surgery right after birth. So kind of scary, but hopefully this should be a pretty successful procedure. The actual diagnosis is pulmonary valve stenosis. Luckily, one of the best pediatric heart hospitals in the state is actually right down the road. So we'll actually be transferring there and keeping our fingers crossed that everything from now until delivery date actually goes well. So.
Yeah, we're 21.5 weeks, and at this point we'll be going every 4 weeks for fetal echoes and seeing the specialist at the Fetal Concern Center. So yes, we're very lucky that Children's Hospital of Wisconsin is close. We, you know, had we been in other parts of the state, we'd have to come down here for this treatment anyway. So it's just been a road, you know, 1.5 years to get this baby, and now we have a stressful few months ahead as we wait to hopefully not develop preeclampsia again and make it to term, and then for baby girl to have her heart procedure in the first day or 2 after birth. So wanted to share our good news. We are excited. I am stressed and anxious, but
Yeah.
you know, this baby girl was everything we wanted and fought for, and we're happy to share and hope everyone will be excited with us and send us our prayers. We'll keep you updated as baby girl continues to grow, and hopefully doesn't come for at least 3.5 months or more.
Be a good early Christmas present. So
Yes.
if she's anything like Elliot, we will be so excited.
Yes.
We love Elliot to death, and I can't wait to see him become a little brother, our big brother.
Yes, Elliot's gonna love it. He doesn't know what he's in for, so let's
Yeah.
hope come December, that's when our baby girl gets here.
Yep. So I think that's about it.
Okay.
The story continues, but hopefully we'll have smooth sailing till December.
Okay, sounds good. I'm gonna
Alright.
take some footage of my bump.
Yep. Look at that bump.
It's a little bigger this time. I wasn't this big at this point last time. That's okay. Baby girl needs to get big.
That's right.
So
one baby right there. Oh, right there. And one. Oh, look at that. Taking a nap.
She's gonna sleep just as good.
He's a happy baby.
Hey, Elliot. Hey, buddy. You know how Daniel Tiger has a little sister?
Margaret.
Margaret. Do you like Margaret?
Yes.
Do you think you want a little sister?
Yeah.
Buddy, what if Mommy has a baby? Do you think Mommy should have a baby girl in her tummy?
Yeah.
Do you want a little sister?
Just like Daniel's
Yeah.
mommy.
Just like Daniel's mommy. Buddy, you're gonna have a little sister in 6 months. Before your birthday even. What do you think?
Goo goo gaga.
Yeah, the baby will go goo goo gaga. What else do babies like? What should we get for the baby?
Pacifier.
Pacifier. Are you excited to have a little baby sister?
Yes.
Yes. Do you think the baby should be in Mommy's tummy for a while? Okay. Are you gonna give the baby hugs and kisses?
Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna be a big brother.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm big.
You are big. And is the baby gonna be little?
I'm little.
The baby's gonna be really little and you're gonna be a big brother.
I'm being a little brother.
Yeah, you're gonna have a baby sister. Is that exciting to have a baby in our family? Just like Margaret? I guess that's as good as we can hope for, right?